Hey, Collateral Cinema listeners, Chazzle Dazzle here from the Trial by Air Variety Show podcast. Just taking a few seconds to invite you guys over to what we do. Much like Collateral Cinema, we are a grassroots podcast. We invite bands from all over the world to come in and we dig deep into their souls and find really cool stories to tell you, and there's tons of music every week. So subscribe to us wherever you subscribe to your podcast. We look forward to having you.
I'm Bo Maddox.
I'm Robert Ortegon.
I'm Ashley Chancellor.
I'm Dakota Chancellor.
And this is Collateral Cinema.
And I'm Chazzle Dazzle. Surprise, biatches. This is a Crosscast. You're also listening to the Trial by Air Variety Show.
Woo!
And this is your 420 special right here.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to Collateral Cinema, the only movie podcast that matters, where we focus on good movies, bad movies, and everything else in between in the world of cinema. We're podcasting straight from somewhere in South Texas, and yes, my friends, we are a 420-friendly podcast. So whatever you have, be it dabs, be it blunts, be it bongs, be it joints, smoke it if you've got it. And happy 420 to everybody. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Yeah,
one more time. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, one more time. How is everybody doing?
I mean, it's kind of a mixture because, you know, we've got this pandemic going on right now, but at the same time, we get to smoke like all the time. So
no problem there.
Yeah, it's kind of perfect for 420 month, right?
Why did we invite you?
I don't know. Maybe we should ask you. Why did we invite you?
If you're not going to take this seriously, okay.
And yes, joining us via Skype is Mr. Chazzle Dazzle from Trial by Air Variety Show. Mr. Chaz Rap, how you doing?
Doing great, man. Got some new merch that I can wear to the grocery store around all these people not wearing masks, probably not washing their hands.
Yeah, no shit. Screw all those people.
I mean, I got to go there to live, you know, and I don't want to go there to die. All right. So to all these people, these elderly people I'm noticing, take it seriously. Take it seriously. Like we are taking this episode seriously.
Exactly.
Let's do this.
Exactly. Take everything seriously.
Serious.
Dakota, do you have something to say? What do you have to add?
No, I'm just, it's great. I think we are taking this podcast very, very seriously. Especially Chaz.
He doesn't even have sleeves.
Need sleeves. Well,
It's actually amazing to have Dakota on the show now. It's like, this is like, when was the last time you were on the show, Dakota? Tell us.
You guys need to listen to Collateral Gaming. That's the problem.
Yeah, he was on the last episode of Collateral Gaming.
he's on every episode of Collateral Gaming because without him, there is no Collateral Gaming.
I'm just saying he showed up for every episode, is what I'm saying.
Exactly. You know,
Right on.
you guys and y'all cinema. Well, I have so much gaming to do during this quarantine.
All the gaming.
What the hell? Oh, here we go.
Hey.
That's how we podcast in the pandemic, baby. Look at this
wow.
game. Check us out, guys.
For all of you listening to the audio version of this, Chaz just took his shirt off.
Yeah. He took his shirt off on video. It's like, ain't nobody gonna see this yet.
No, probably not.
Well,
they're gonna hear it.
Yeah, for sure.
I just want you guys to see it.
It's special just for us, right?
Yeah, it's just for you guys
Oh wow! Don't we just feel so special?
and my OnlyFans.
Oh, damn. There we go. I got to sign up. You got to send me your link.
Okay.
You dude.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We are celebrating 420, and the movie that we are doing today is an all-time stoner classic. It is amazing movie, right? Motherfucking Cheech Chong's Up in Smoke. God damn, guys, this movie just brings so much joy to my life every time I watch it. Right? How about you?
Not only is it
It
just
holds up.
a fantastic stoner movie, but it is like so meme worthy. It's amazing.
It's the original stoner film, I think, that kind of kicked off the genre. I mean, unless you count Reefer Madness, which isn't an intentional stoner film, but this one started it all really, in the mainstream.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Reefer Madness was an anti-weed movie, though, and it just kind of, just by way of mimetic mutation, just became a stoner classic,
Exactly.
And we might do that movie on a future episode, probably. Yeah, that should definitely be next 420. But anyway, Cheech Chong got their start in the late 60s, and I'm pretty sure that they were doing this stoner comedy right from the get-go, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's funny that all their bits from that first record were like sprinkled throughout this movie.
Yes.
Yeah, that's something that I think was pretty remarkable. This really does feel like more of a sketch comedy show rather than a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh yeah, it's off the rails.
Yeah, it feels like it could be like an SNL skit almost, but maybe a little more highbrow or even lowbrow for SNL. Maybe. I mean, I'm not.
The
really
narrative
sure.
structure is kind of unique in that sense, or it's unlike the typical narrative structure you'd see in a movie.
Yeah, it doesn't really have an actual structure to it, really. It's almost like things just kind of happen.
It's kind of weird. It's a weird structure. There's not much. Yeah, well, there's not much structure to it, but it does have its own storyline, and it's like you said. I agree with you with the whole idea of it being like an SNL skit. That's a good terminology for it.
And I think the biggest reason for that is how character-driven it is. And these are two classic characters that they came up with early on in their career. And first off, you just have the typical Chicano element, or even stereotypical, I would say, probably, with Cheech Marin. And Tommy Chong's character, it's almost like it is his actual personality, but it isn't. Because
they're probably playing caricatures of themselves.
Right. That's exactly what it is. Not only that, but like all of the characters in this show are all just like they're based on stereotypes that are, you hear. Like even the nuns and the cops, everybody is a stereotype. That's what all the characters are.
It's almost in kind of a no consequence world, like Freddy Got Fingered, where things just kind of happen. Even the cops are bumbling idiots, and they're not even stoned.
For most of the movie, anyway.
At first, at first they're not really stoned.
Towards the end.
The very first cops they find, that's just like a total, something happens for them, just serendipitously.
It's very much just
divine intervention, really.
Yeah, it's kind of just to push forward the story more than anything. Well, what story there is, as far as
I'm guessing that the judge scene where they get out on a technicality because the judge is drinking vodka. Is that what they're trying to relay there?
I think so. They don't really show what happens after that. It just kind of goes straight to them at Cheech's
It's implied.
house. It's very much implied.
So I was reading that the car that Chong was driving with the Rolls Royce attached to the front of the Bug, that was actually owned by Jack Nicholson.
Wow.
It was actually his car.
Yeah. I heard of Jack Nicholson having some involvement in this movie, but that's actually really cool. And it's a VW Bug with a Rolls Royce grill on the front.
Rolls Royce, yeah.
Oh my God.
Took that from his dad.
That's right.
When he wrecks and he pulls over too, when he's another thing I was reading too is in that scene where he's flipping around, Cheech is flipping around. Those are a couple of the producers, or one of the associate producers' daughters.
Really?
So, they kind of. Those girls are really young. They were like 15.
That's the first couple of girls that Cheech talks to.
When he's turning around to get Chong when he drives that car off the cliff. Yeah.
Yes. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so fucking perfect. I love that.
Different times.
Yeah,
I love
no
how
kidding.
their friendship develops. You know, it starts off as him just giving him a ride, and they just sort of vibe, and then, you know, they go to court together, so they just stick together after that point.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's completely like non sequitur.
Yeah, but in a way, they were just kind of made for each other, right? I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
their personalities just perfectly complement each other, you know? I mean,
And a lot of that chemistry is, you know, the actors themselves, Cheech and Chong, you know?
Yeah.
definitely.
They're
Yeah.
definitely best friends even to this day, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, to this
That's
day,
cool.
they still talk to each other. They still hang out.
Mhm.
I mean, they were trying to bring back the Cheech and Chong characters not too long ago, right? I heard something
they
about.
did. They toured.
Yeah, they
Recently
toured.
reunited.
Yeah, I wish I could have gone and seen that. I mean, I'm pretty sure they played a lot of their greatest hits, so to speak. I guess.
Yeah, they
you know.
still do play. They still do like modernized versions of their stuff for sure.
Oh, nice.
That's badass.
Yeah, they bring their old characters back and just modernize them.
So I feel like this movie may even have, you know, a somewhat, and I say this lightly, a somewhat autobiographical feel to it, at least as far as the characters go, because, you know, they're in a band, right?
Right.
And I feel like that carried over from their personal lives and their best friends. You know what I mean? So I really feel like I said, they were playing caricatures of themselves.
Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't know what kind of parents Chong had, but his parents seemed
Rich.
out there.
Racist,
White.
crazy, wild. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's kind of funny that Chong's character is shown to be affluent. I mean, it kind of explains how he's kind of free to try all of these different kinds of drugs and everything. I mean, his parents
yeah.
are pretty much financing that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He just says "fuck you" to his parents, you know, and he just goes on his way.
I love
Yeah.
I love that he doesn't even give a shit. He's
No.
making that smoothie and
And he just flicks him off on the back. What is that? A peace sign? That's what his mom said.
She's like, yeah, is that a half peace sign? What is that?
oh man, that is the best. And I mean, his dad. Oh man, he's so overbearing. Jesus
Son of a
Christ.
bitch.
Over the top. That's
He's like-
definitely part of their character, though.
But isn't everybody over the top, really? I mean,
Every
Yeah,
single
so
character in this movie is over the top, and that's really important because of how character driven it is.
Right.
It's not just Cheech and Chong, it's also, you know, the cops that are pursuing them. It's the two girls that they eventually meet, which we'll talk about here in a little bit.
Yeah,
Every
there's no
character
straight man.
Yeah.
You remember, the bigger the bust, the better the boost.
exactly.
It's just so stereotypical, you know? It's just funny shit.
And also the members of his band as well. I mean, those are
Oh,
like
yeah.
typical musician
Shit.
caricatures. Right, Chaz? I know you've
Look at that. Would you look at those? Those are some fly ass clothes. Whoa.
Chaz, I know that you know what I'm talking about. Those are totally musician type things that
Yeah, definitely.
hear?
All musician tropes for sure. They nail them, dude.
oh yeah.
I love it. I
definitely.
love how, especially, you know, just the energy, the difference in the on stage versus the off stage. Like the energy he brings to his on stage persona is just so like it's dead on. Like he brings it even. So I love how the movie's so character driven. He is this over the top character. And then when he finally gets on stage, it's even more over the top. Like, you know,
Yeah,
it's just like an unleashing of
Yeah.
Cheech. It's really,
Right, yeah,
really
she's
cool.
just like tutu and pink suit. Like it's just
Yeah.
the funniest thing to
Yeah.
see that and jumping around on stage.
yeah, that obnoxious neon guitar and everything. It's
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
No
and-
fucks given. It's just punk rock lifestyle, man.
No fucks given.
Seriously, none at all. I mean, look how Chong is dressed as well. But weren't the other members of his band actually trying to get him to kind of wear more traditional garb or something like that?
Yeah, they
Looking
wanted
more
to have like a uniform.
Yeah.
almost like a Motown kind of thing, right?
Yeah, they gave him one. It didn't fit.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
So he was just
Yeah.
like, "Fuck it, I'm going to dress up like a superhero."
yeah.
And playing those huge, oversized drumsticks. It's like, how the fuck do you even play
Yeah.
with those things?
Who knows?
Like logs, dude.
I know,
It's
right?
great.
It's like playing drums with.
Everything is so on point.
I know. Even his drum kit, man. I mean, it's all clear acrylic. It's like it's a sweet
Yeah.
kit, honestly.
Yeah.
So he just carries it around with him. I love the scene where he's like climbing up the hill and then he goes back down, falls back down the hill, and then climbs back up again. And then Cheech comes around the corner and he's like, "Wait!" He comes, finally picks him up and gets in the car and is like, "Hold on, let me go get my stuff. Hurry up, man." He brings a bag and says, "Wait, I got more. Hold on." He brings a whole fucking drum set in the car. He's like, "God damn, man, how'd you carry that with you?"
Yeah, it's like foreshadowing though, because he says like, "What are you doing? Gonna move in, man?
You're gonna move in?" Yeah, it's exactly. That's foreshadowing. I didn't even think about that.
It's fantastic. The first night that he spends in at Cheech's house after they're out of jail, like he's straight up like sleeping in the hallway, right?
Yeah, he's like, "Nah, man, you got a room."
and of course he's got his family there. He's got a bunch of kids. I mean, I'm not sure if those are Cheech's kids or not.
I mean, his old lady.
We never really see his old lady, right?
I wonder if that was all bullshit and he was just like saying that to Chong, just like make him think he was getting some putang. I don't know. It was
Something like that. It might just be his. It might just be his.
Yeah.
It might just be his grandma's house, honestly, for all we know.
Yeah.
God.
Hey, since this is the 420 episode, there's a little bit of 420 history. So the first like bong that I went out and bought on my own was a 6-foot bong because I was inspired by Cypress Hill, and I went and it was red clear acrylic just like that drum kit.
Oh,
6-footer.
that's sweet.
Nice.
Yeah, to have somebody else light it while you hit it, and then it would clear a whole gram inside of the bowl, and you'd have to hit that whole gram.
I've hit my fair share of 6-foot bongs before. Those are monsters, right, Robert?
Oh,
Yeah.
When was the last time you've hit one up, Robert?
One of those 6-footers, like a 9-footer, probably back in high school. You
A
know?
9-footer.
Yeah, I was 18.
Yeah, back
I
in
was
high school, dude,
18,
mostly.
so
Wow,
19.
man.
So
You gotta turn that shit sideways just to hit it.
Seriously,
you have to have
yeah.
somebody else hit it, or light it with your toes.
Right, that light with your toes.
Barbecue lighter.
Yeah,
Something like
there you
that.
go. Like a torch, fucking like huge.
torch.
You take a
Yeah,
torch.
right, torch.
I gotta get my shirt back on. It's kind of cold. I got this window open.
Oh yeah, it's a little chilly outside. I'm sure
Dakota
you.
wins.
Now let's go through some of the other moments of this movie. Like, for instance, the scene at the border with the nuns. That is so hilarious. I mean,
man.
he's smoking that fucking big ass doobie, the dog shit.
Another one. Yep.
He straight up throws it in the nun's lap, and
Who
like
the hell throws a roach over the car?
I
On the other side.
I know the way he throws that roach is just it defies logic.
Yeah, right.
it's only something that Chong could do. Like only Chong would do that.
All right, and then following that sequence, the fucking nuns, and then the nuns get caught at border control, and then the cops feel up the nuns because they've never been touched before, and so they're like, "Oh,
Yes.
Brides of
And,
Christ.
a couple of those nuns are former Playboy
Oh, that makes
centerfolds.
sense.
Are you
Oh,
serious?
That's
Oh.
funny. I didn't know that.
That's fucking
Yeah.
cool, man. Yeah, but that's a favorite of mine. Another favorite scene of mine is when they're actually constructing the Weedmobile. Because
that's
Oh
cool.
my god.
like
And of course, Cheech and Chong have no
No
clue the
touch-up.
entire movie that they're driving a weed mobile.
did you see the grill on that thing? It's literally like huge ass buds. Like that, that was
It's
the
chicken
grill.
wire with what looked like moss.
Chicken wire.
I know.
Like,
It's like how could anybody not see that? I mean, fuck.
Different times.
It's like they were spraying
And what about
texture
that-
on the
that
car
part-
with weed,
Yeah.
like a paint job.
Yeah, and that goes back to that scene where the cops are kind of debriefing themselves about the new forms of weed that are coming over the border. They're saying this shit is like being constructed into TVs and like into upholstery and all kinds of weird shit, electronics.
It is the
Fiber weed.
TV.
it is the
Here's a
TV.
little
It
bit of
is the
trivia.
TV.
How many dollars do you think this enterprise is worth right now? going for me, it's left or right. Dakota, what do you think?
I'm thinking 400 million. Is it 200 million?
400 million? Way higher. Ashley?
Say about $1 billion.
Whoa, you're sit on the bench, son. Robert,
$1.5 million.
$1.5 million? Okay. Bo, what do you think?
Well, are we talking just street value or just straight up value by weight?
Oh my God, it's a $9 billion enterprise.
Which, by the way,
Billion.
I don't think it could have possibly been those cops didn't know what the fuck they were talking about, because think about adjusted for inflation, and $1 billion today is no joke.
$1 billion back then would have
Like
been
Wheat TVs.
Right.
Just
the bigger
wheat
the butt,
TVs.
the better the boost.
So I mean, everything they say about marijuana, and it's like these guys that have never smoked weed before, that don't know anything. It's just like these like anti-drug advertisements,
Right, yeah.
Yeah, right. And something else notable about the casting with the cops and everything, the main police lieutenant, that's Stacy Keach. Yeah, he was actually the main slasher killer in the horror classic Maniac, which, I mean,
Oh, okay.
that's a really cool movie. I highly recommend that. But Stacy Keach is an all-time great actor. He's been in so many awesome movies,
Very cool.
genre films, and even some bigger films as well.
His mustache was something else.
Who?
Who's mustache?
The lead lieutenant or the lead cop, whatever. His mustache was like two little
Oh,
razor blades.
yeah. It was practically almost a John Waters stash, right?
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe not as papery thin as Waters, maybe. But yeah, it's a funny cop stash. And of course, his underlings are just, they're so frustratingly stupid. Jesus
Henchmen.
Christ.
Follow him with like all of their fiber and being, but they're just stupid. They're brainless.
Yeah, they're trying their damnedest to do their job, but I mean, what are you gonna do, man? It's like
Well,
These
Shoot the
are
fire.
great. Oh man, a donut shop.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, the donut shop in the middle of the desert. There's never a donut shop when you want it.
yeah,
Right.
seriously.
This movie does, definitely employs the stereotypes.
Kills
Yeah.
every single.
It's completely self-aware. It's
I
got
can't
an element.
believe. Yeah, I'm like ripping it up, and you're so right. Like it's not. Yeah.
It knows exactly what it is, and I think that's why the plot is structured the way it is.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all about showing really, really funny and interesting moments, more or less.
Yeah, and well, like I was mentioning, they always manage to get away from the cops. Always, except for in the very beginning with the little bit of luck that the cops had, but it didn't matter because they got out on a
They got
technicality.
away. They always get
They
away.
always get out of it.
And,
These
and,
fucking
and
stoners.
both Cheech and Chong, they both end up pissing on the police lieutenant's leg at different points in the movie.
That's right.
Jesus Christ.
The first scene where Chong ends up giving Cheech like a bunch of fucking acid, and he starts tripping balls to the cop, and he's like, "What the hell? How do you even do that?"
And then Chong is swallowing those pills quickly to get rid of the evidence.
He's swallowing like pills on pills on pills, dude. It's the funniest shit.
It's like Cheech's state is probably what Chong is seeing 24/7, probably.
Right.
I mean,
He's used to it already.
yeah, he is that fucking spaced out, man. But anyway,
Yeah, that is such a great scene too. Just forgetting the cops are there, back and forth. Like that's so kind of indicative of that. Of all of that, really.
Oh, yeah,
Smoking
that's
that much
a
weed,
scene.
taking that much acid, just like the scatterbrainness. Just even the cops there, though.
I like
Yeah.
how fast everyone gets high. Like the second they get a puff of that air, suddenly they're so stoned out of their mind that they instantly have food.
Yeah.
yeah. Like for instance, that cop that stops them when they're in the weed van,
weed van.
and it starts burning on the fender, and that cop just immediately wants Chong's hot dog. He's just like, "Hey, you can have the whole thing, man." It's like,
What do you guys want?
What do you guys what?
I like
I
how
love it.
every
He's like,
actor's
Chong's
stoned.
like, hey man, I can't, I don't have a license, dude. And he's like, well, shit, you should have told me that. Like, here, let me get in. And you hear the debacle, like you hear the audio, like, come on, man, move over. Oh, I'm stuck. And by the time the cop finally walks up there, Chong's sitting on Cheech's lap, just like, what's up? Cut on. God, that's so awkward. That's so good.
now personally, I think my favorite parts of the movie are when they pick up the two ladies, the blonde chick and that really far out hippie girl who just will not stop fucking talking. She talks. I swear, the moment that she is introduced in this movie, she is just on. She is talking.
No, she's
and
always talking in the background while other people are talking. Like she's always talking, dude.
Seriously, it's like, are you just talking to yourself and just hoping that somebody just stops by and listens to you? I mean, what the
You need
fuck?
Jesus.
Well, I think that's one of my favorite scenes in the movie is the one where she's just doing the entire like moaning and she's just telling a story about someone else having sex the entire time. And then from the outside, it looks like, her and Chong are having sex and he walks out and everybody applauds.
Everybody applauds. I love it. All the bands at the Battle of the Bands are just like, woo!
I got a
it would be
man.
it would be bad. You would think it would be like a bad consequence, but everything they do, it has a good consequence in the end. It's weird as hell.
See, there's no consequences.
You're right.
No consequences at all. And why should there be? They're just smoking weed. Shit.
Or snorting Ajax.
Snorting Ajax. Oh, that scene
There you
is
go.
all kinds of weird. That chick that just sucks all that Ajax up.
That was wild.
Oh, that weird face that she starts making, that weird noise was like, what's that noise? Like something like that. It's like this really
We all
deep.
know like that from our hometown, right?
Yeah.
That's the way some of the girls out here are.
Oh, yeah, I know, right? No doubt
Don't
about
say any
that.
names, but we all. I have a few of them are coming. All the same names are coming around.
I know, man. You're telling me, bro. This place is fucking crazy, ladies and gentlemen. It's fucking
A lot
out
of
there.
red hair.
Yeah.
Red hair. Oh no! You just triggered Dakota probably. Oh no! Red hair.
Triggered hard.
I got to remember not to do this. I heard it in my last podcast. I was doing this to my beard because I'm just like trying to focus on the chaos.
And you could totally hear it in the microphone, right?
Yeah, I was like, is somebody eating chips? What the fuck is happening?
It's like, no,
And
that's
it's
my
like,
beard.
oh,
It's okay. We're introducing an ASMR segment to the podcast and a mukbang.
Oh God.
Oh Lord! So you're just gonna sit there and eat like 30 fucking Taco Bell burritos? Is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah, there we go.
Oh God!
It would be appropriate for a 420 episode.
I don't know.
I'm drinking a Sonic's Red Plush.
I know that the lazy vegan, she does some mukbang videos every now and again with vegan stuff. So I mean, I don't know.
That's not.
What? Say that again. Say that to my face.
I heard
is
vegan and I
not
tuned
cool.
out.
why is it always a vegan promotion with you, Bo?
Because that's just how it goes on Collateral Cinema. I say
You're
vegan
gonna-
stuff,
you're
and
gonna
you
trigger-
guys rag on me for it. It's
Well, there is more of us than there is you.
it's the
This is
ebb
not-
and flow of this podcast. Apparently,
I'm cutting it out of mine.
damn you, damn you.
I will
We-
literally leave in the 30 minutes of intro, and I'll cut just that. They'll be like, wait,
30. You're just gonna
where's my
loop the
vegan
intro,
promo.
or you're just gonna loop the intro over and over again for 30 minutes.
Chazzle Dazzle.
Yeah.
Chazzle
Where's
Dazzle.
where's my really feeble attempt at trying to turn people off of meat? Where's it at? I don't know. It was in here. I swear I tried to put it in there.
Oh my god. Oh my
Next
god.
time he's telling us he does CrossFit.
I don't know. We'll be getting PETA ads on our fucking on our podcast.
Yeah, or my Instagram now. Yeah, it's gonna start selling me vegan food or something.
Mhm. Exactly.
Like
Yeah,
it wasn't me, it was Bo.
It was my doing. I did it. Me and Joaquin Phoenix, we both did it. And
Yeah.
yeah, we did it. But y'all remember the Vietnam veteran that they went to get weed from in the movie?
Oh,
Yeah.
Strawberry.
That's motherfucking Tom Skerritt, man, homeboy from Alien.
Who's that?
He was in the
that's
Alien
Tom.
movie. Yeah.
Nice.
Ah, that was such a great scene, dude, where he bails on him on that bike.
Oh man, that's so
Better
crazy.
shit.
Post-traumatic stress coming back.
Like a
Is
little
your dad
Rascals
like that,
effect.
Bo?
What?
Is your dad like that, Bo?
My dad?
Yeah, is your dad like strawberry?
Oh, I don't know. No, not like that. No, he's many other ways, but not that way.
Rip torn.
Rip torn all the way.
He's rip torn.
He was rip torn from Freddy Got Fingered.
R.I.P.
Rest in
Hey,
peace.
Bo, I gotta
exactly.
say, I was thinking about your dad whenever they mentioned Thai stick.
Really?
I've heard that story.
Yeah,
from Dad
man,
more
you got
times than I can
tie stick, man.
count. Tide stick.
Tide
Who's Tide
stick.
stick.
Tide
Was
stick.
Tide Stick a thing back then?
It was, yeah.
In the 30s, Laurel and Hardy were the kings of comedy. Then, Abbott and Costello took the 40s and split their sides with laughter. The 50s went hysterical and broke up to the wild antics of Martin and Lewis. In the great tradition of these laugh masters of the past come two guys who are hysterically funny. They're Cheech and Chong, the comedy team that gave birth to rock comedy and in the process turned on a whole generation. Now it's time for the Cheech and Chong movie, Up in Smoke.
Hijo de la chingada. Is that a joint, man?
Go up in smoke.
They put me in the lineup and let the bright lights shine.
Watch Cheech and Chong travel to Mexico to pick up the world's first van made entirely of marijuana. For years, people have smuggled grass across the borders in every way possible.
Do you expect to see any violence here today?
I certainly hope so.
But things don't always go as planned. And even man's most heavenly plans go up in smoke.
Fire!
We're getting pulled over by the cops, man.
What?
I don't have a license.
You don't have a license?
Sure.
What do you mean you don't have a license?
Things get even higher when the world's only grass van starts smoking on its own.
What do you guys want?
If it isn't one bust, it's another.
Oh, man, it's a cop, so Strawberry, they're on your pad, man. They're gonna bust your pad. Hey, man, hi.
What?
Hi, man, it's a bust.
What's going on?
It's a bust, man.
Hello?
Get out of the house, man. It's being busted.
All right, freeze! This is a bust! Holy.
So if you want to see the dopiest van of all
Hey,
time
first gear. Here we go.
on its way to the wildest rock concert of the century and the high of a lifetime, see Cheech and Chong, the original high riders, in Up in Smoke.
Must be some heavy.
Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. Don't go straight to see this movie.
Thinking
Yeah,
some.
Bo's dad was telling me stories about it. I'm not kidding.
Oh yeah,
We
yeah.
used to get cum and ketchup off of everything we had.
Oh my god. But yeah, those scenes were fucking hilarious.
Sorry.
And once again, no consequences on any of that.
Zero.
I mean, that actually allows who was driving with him? It was Cheech Marin,
Strawberry
right?
was driving. Cheech
Yeah.
was in the little bucket seat or the little sidecar. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what happened after that scene is Cheech was actually able to call Chong and tell him to get the fuck out of the dealer's house and everything.
Yes,
He had already
Because they-
locked himself out.
He already locked himself out and everything, and like took the phone out
The
there
whole
with him.
time they're raiding it.
But I know he's trying to re-enter the building while they're raiding the building, and he's got to fucking get in. And while Cheech is on the phone, like, fuck it out, and he goes back in, and then finally Cheech somehow shows up quickly enough.
He's disguised as a fucking as what is it?
Like a
I
repo,
think
dude.
Repo man,
Repo guy.
Yeah, repo man. He
Like-
fucking repossesses, come to
Take all the
repossess the
furniture.
table and shit, while with the drugs and shit all over it.
With all the drugs on it.
Yes.
He's like, "Get this table here.
And
Wow.
it's
Yeah,
like,
this
that was
table right here. They didn't make the payments on it. Unfortunately, we got to take it."
Boss says
Yeah.
it's got to
And then
go.
finally Chong makes it in the building, and Cheech comes in the back, and they're like, "Wait, we need to find a way out of here." And they're like, "Well, why don't we just leave right behind us?" Right behind us.
It's like, yeah, right, man. The X is right there, man. I mean, shit.
He locked himself out. He's trying to break it with a butter knife.
Oh my god.
Dude, the movie really does hold up. That's what's funny is as off the rails as it is, and as far as plot goes, no. but the sketches just in sequence are just so good. Just one back to back. They're so good.
Every single one of them are just they're funny, and they're just like so stereotypical stoner. Everything it's so wild. It's such a fun. It's a trip.
Yeah, this movie does seem like a series of sketches, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is kind of like Trailer Park
You know what I mean?
Boys.
That's really what it is, because it's pretty much the same situation every time. They narrowly escape the law.
I know. The law is always not far behind them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're always encountering some type of authority figure, and they just kind of bungle their way out of it. Like, I don't even...
Every time.
I'm still trying to figure out how the fuck they got away with it at the end of the movie. It's like, I mean, we may as well go ahead and talk about the actual Battle of the Bands scene, which is, I think, is like the best part of the movie, really. Like, of course, you know...
Bands.
Yeah. Oh, man. I'm pretty sure those were some actual bands that they knew, like, from the local area that came in and played that. Like, there's that one band that just stops right in the middle of their song, and then they're just like,
yeah,
this is hard. Chaz, have you ever seen anything like that? Like, in your years of music?
I was like, what the I mean, I've seen Nickelback get rocks thrown at them.
Yeah.
And they didn't stop. You know what I mean? So
Seriously, man. And then there was that one weird new wave band. I swear they just had a chick there just to dance. Like, she's just up there to dance. You know, like how the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, they have that conductor that I swear he's just up there to skank. Like, that's all he's there to do. They have this one new wave looking chick, and she's just kind of dancing to the music on stage. It's like, I mean, was that a thing in the 80s?
That's a thing now, dude.
It is?
Well, not now. Now we're all in our homes, but
yeah. Right
You know, I'm aware of the punk rock like lifestyle, you know, about the bands. Like, there's some crazy fucking shit that happens at punk rock bands. Like, I don't know if you know anything about like City Morgue or anything, but like that's some crazy band stuff. They like throw the mics at the audience, like hit their head on the mic, bleeding and shit. Like, that's some crazy shit. And so seeing that versus like this is pretty interesting. It's another form of punk rock.
Dakota, let me tell you a little bit about Iggy Pop. or Gigi Allen.
Oh my God, Gigi Allen.
Gigi Allen, yeah. An American hero. Straight up. True hero.
I like the Battle of the Bands scene, you know, whenever the weed comes in through the vents, and the people go from throwing food and items at them to just completely vibing with the music.
And then they're bringing out like trays of hamburgers because everybody's just instantly hungry. And the cops, they try to get into the Roxy. That's where they're at. They're at the Roxy.
They're ordering pizzas too.
Yeah, they get a whiff of the smoke from the weed van because they busted a fuel line and lit it on fire, and the motherfucker's just burning. There's just plumes of smoke just coming right at the fucking Roxy, and everybody gets a whiff of it.
For the weed.
What is it?
Supposedly $9 billion worth of weed, right?
Apparently.
No.
Whoa.
They're talking about the he's talking about the enterprise in which where they turn weed into plastic.
Yeah.
The fiber, the weed, fiber weed. There it is.
But here's my question: if that's a way of smuggling it, how did they turn it back into smokable weed?
That's a good question. That's one of the many things they never really break down in this movie. It's just kind of thrown in there.
This movie with a grain of salt. You have to like not think too much about it and just understand that it's funny, and they get away with stupid shit that they shouldn't get away with.
Here's a good example. Like when they're actually going to Mexico initially to pick up upholstery, they never actually end up picking up the upholstery that they were going to smuggle back in. They just they go to the wrong garage and they pick up the weed mobile, and they never ask anything about any upholstery, any type of furniture. They just take it and leave. Oh yeah, the bathroom. Because he had to fucking eat that shit burrito.
And he walks by the entire fucking industry, and we see everybody in like masks and shit just creating on these cars. Yeah, and he just misses it.
Like I said, that's among my favorite parts of the movie is where they're just constructing that shit, and they're like spraying it with the fiber weed and everything.
And they're driving the car later. This fucking weed Weemobile, and they're like, man, I wish we could score a lid. And we're like, dude, you're driving a Weemobile. They had no fucking clue.
Idea.
It's like you could literally probably snap off the end of the fender and fucking roll a blunt out of it. And
Oh yeah, with the logic in that movie, absolutely.
Seriously, you could totally do that.
I mean, they can smoke dog shit in this movie.
Labrador.
You know, hey,
Labrador,
what's in
man.
that?
Maui
Oh,
Wowie.
a bit of Maui Wowie.
Hey, it's a Labrador.
Labrador.
Fucking great, man. That is greatness.
Labrador.
But we should talk about the song that they play at the end, because it is such a fucking jam, I think. Are y'all aware that, I'm sure Chaz is, but Chancellors, are you aware that Korn actually did a cover of that song at the end of one of their albums?
Oh shit, we need to listen to that.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
it was a hidden track. What's up? Oh,
Makes total sense. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it makes total sense. I mean, it would be Korn that could take a song like that and just turn it into a slamming nu metal track. And it's actually, it doesn't have Cheech Marin on the vocals, though. That's, they're a bassist, Fieldy. He's the one that actually does that. So, I mean, it's really, really a fun song to listen to because honestly, it's coming from an album that I think is just peak Korn, like in every way, like peak Jonathan Davis, peak Ross Robinson, peak Korn, period. And it's a hidden track. It comes on like, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes after the album is complete.
Cool. Which one is it? Follow the Leader?
Follow the Leader.
Or Adidas? Or? Okay, okay.
No, yeah, Adidas is from Life is Peachy. Like, we're talking Follow the Leader.
Life is Peachy, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I love that album. So I've definitely heard that song. I just didn't know it was them. So I have to go back and listen to it.
I was jamming it on YouTube, actually. And it's like, I'm like, wow, it really held up, honestly. Just that whole album in general.
I'll put it in the in my podcast.
Yeah, you should, dude. Definitely.
I'll put that version of it in there. Yeah, for
Definitely. Anyway, this movie pretty much set the standard for how stoner movies would kind of play out note for note as far as its tropes, its character types, and everything. And it's had quite an impact on weed culture. Wouldn't you guys say?
Oh, definitely. I mean, this is like the pioneering stoner film.
For sure.
So, you know, at least there were some before this. I mean, you had Fritz the Cat, and this really was kind of where the whole stoner buddy comedy element came in. So, I mean, I feel like that's been influential on 420 culture, you know, just in general.
Especially the character of Chong himself. I mean, Tommy Chong has really kind of run with it. I mean, he even has, from what I understand, when weed became legal, he has dispensaries and everything, or he grows weed. And
yeah, he does like the Cannabis
Instagram.
Cup every year. He hosts the Cannabis Cup.
Yeah,
he does. Awesome.
He judges and has his own his own strand. And
yeah, I've seen his Instagram before, and on his Instagram, you can see like he's taking pictures of bags of weed just falling out of his cabinets and shit. Like he don't care. This is an old dude with just a bunch of fucking weed.
Oh, he's gangster. Yeah. I mean, he actually went to jail because he was selling bongs online, and at the time, the Bush administration...
He was entrapped.
He was entrapped, exactly. It wasn't fair, but yeah, he went to jail for a little while. And
that's crazy.
I remember that. Oh.
Yeah.
And he also did in Half-Baked.
Oh, of course. Yeah, he was totally in Half-Baked.
Yeah. He was in a lot of shit. I remember him from That 70s Show. That's what I remember.
That was a shout out to our last 420 episode.
Exactly. Yeah. Half-Baked. Hell yeah.
And you were with us then, Chaz. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you almost forgot, huh?
Yeah, I'm thinking that this right here is pretty much going to be a little bit of a tradition for us from now on to have Chaz come on the 420 episode.
Forever, you'll be lonely as hell, man.
I know, right? Right.
But I cursed. I just put a curse on it. So here, I'm trying to find this. Check this out. This is a recent picture from his Instagram posted on April 3rd. Ooh. And he's smoking a CBD vape.
Ooh, nice.
Probably the ones he sells, right?
Oh, shit.
Hell yeah, man. That's cool.
He's still very active.
Yeah, I know Tommy Chong's pretty active. He does a lot of stuff still. Like I've seen so much of his Instagram. It's wild.
He's in his 80s, and he's got 2.6 million followers. That's crazy, dude. That is crazy.
What's Cheech up to these days? Has anybody checked up on him?
Right? Dude, he's still active as well.
I don't know if Cheech really leaned into the whole stoner thing as hard as Tommy Chong did, but I mean,
he's only got 596,000 followers.
That's weird. Well, he's obviously not selling weed then. Otherwise, he would have that 2 million probably.
Here he is. He says, "Staying safe." How about you?
Hell yeah.
There
man.
you go. Okay.
Look at him with that mask. Hell yeah. It's good that he's staying safe and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Chaz, what are your thoughts on how Up in Smoke has influenced weed culture throughout the last 40 years or so?
Oh man, okay, so in huge ways, I think that they took a huge risk that really just kicked double doors open for people like Chappelle, Redman, Method Man,
Right.
you name it. The list goes on and on. Really, I think they literally took took all the heat you could possibly take for something to open those kind of doors to put drugs like that in the mainstream, not just weed, just drugs in general in the mainstream, and make it look fun, entertaining, and not even have a plot, just have a series of sketches that happen to make up an hour and 15, an hour and 20. And what's funny, man, is growing up in a conservative household, my dad would never watch anything like this with us unless it was these guys. And so we saw Nice Dreams. We saw this one, Still Smoking, and it was like, my dad didn't openly smoke pot. If he did, I never, ever saw him do it. But we would watch these comedies and he would laugh like he knew what was going on. And I had no idea, but I would laugh because he was laughing, and now I'm watching it and I'm like, my dad knew what was up, dude. He lived through it.
I mean, this is the example of the stoner buddy comedy. I mean, looking back on some of the movies that we've done on our 420 episodes, I mean, even going back to like Pineapple Express, I mean, that movie wouldn't have been possible without Cheech and Chong.
Harold
like
and Kumar, all the
Harold and Kumar.
yeah.
Harold and Kumar.
What about the
One and
Workaholic Show?
Both good.
Yeah, you could argue that the Workaholics, the TV show,
Even
like that.
Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah, Trailer Park Boys. Those kind
Park
of
Boys.
come from the lineage of Cheech and Chong a little bit, right?
Buddy,
Broad City.
Camaraderie.
What is it, Chaz?
I said Broad City.
Broad City. Oh shit.
Stoner chicks, dude.
Fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah. Chancellor Brothers, I mean, what do y'all think about Up in Smoke's impact on marijuana culture?
I mean, I already kind of set my bet on that.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, I have every reason to believe that it is like Ash said, a pioneer for what we have now, and as it fits a lot of stereotypes in the movie. A lot of those stereotypes are pretty true. A lot of them are pretty funny, and I have no reason to believe that this wouldn't be a foundation, a pioneer for new wave smoking and today.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just so crazy to look back on that, especially now when there's so many states where it's now legalized and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And during the lockdown over the pandemic, I mean, weed smoking has gone up exponentially. Like, people are toking up hardcore in quarantine right now.
Yeah, we're no exception. I mean, we've been able to smoke a lot of weed.
Too good at
Yes, we've even, dabbled in some other things.
Yeah.
I feel like 420 is more than just about weed. It is about, kind of free thought and
also camaraderie in a way.
Yeah. So, I think other recreational drugs can kind of play into that, but primarily weed.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think it's funny because it's at one time it was demonized, and our kids will forget that. Because it is so mainstream now, and that these movies will feel like almost like you're watching racism in its early days or something. You know what I mean? Like the way it's talked, especially something like you're talking about with Reefer Madness.
Yeah, that's
just something from that time where it used all the tropes. It tried so hard. It was just so far off that it just was like a sideshow act rather than what it was meant to be, which was preachy.
I mean, yeah, Reefer Madness just looks ancient in comparison to how people approach marijuana today. And even so, I mean, there's still a lot of negative things that are attributed to how our culture looks at marijuana. And I mean, there's still lots of places where laws are on the books where people are serving lots of time for selling weed or even possessing it. And it's ridiculous.
Fuck that.
Fuck the war on drugs.
Fuck that shit.
I think it's turning, though. I think full-on legalization is maybe, I don't know, maybe another 4 or 5 years away, maybe.
At least decriminalization.
At least.
Who do you think you are?
Who do I think I am? Jesus Christ.
Nah, man, if we get another 4 years of Trump, we'll definitely see legalization, I feel like.
Yeah, people are going to have to be fucking stoned to get through that shit. So they're going to be demanding.
Right, exactly.
Well, guys, we're going to go ahead and get into our final thoughts and ratings for the movie. We'll go ahead and start with Robert. What do you think, man?
I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5? Like, what did you like about the movie?
You know, it wasn't just the first one. I mean, it's all of them. You know, I especially like The Nice Dreams.
Nice Dreams is actually really cool. I like that one.
The opening where they're growing a bunch of weed underneath this fake canvas of a swimming pool, right?
Yeah,
and then they're selling buds out of the ice cream truck, dude. That's freaking hilarious.
That's another fucking classic, honestly.
And,
I like that one.
And they end up meeting Pee Wee Herman and getting all coked up with him.
Yeah, it's too bad that Paul Rubens wasn't in this movie because he would later become a fixture in Cheech and Chong movies after this. Right before Pee-wee's Playhouse came out and everything.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure and all that.
This movie is somewhat removed in that Cheech and Chong are playing different characters. I believe there was originally going to be a sequel to Up in Smoke, and it just ended up being Cheech and Chong's next movie in which they just actually play themselves.
Yeah. Chaz, what are your final thoughts and what rating would you give this movie?
I give it 4 out of 5 doobies.
Nice.
Because it definitely, as far as like what the joy that it brings, I was laughing out loud, and that's a lot of that old comedy doesn't stick a lot of times,
Yeah.
And I feel like they just nailed it. They really did. It was over the top enough, and like you said, self-aware, that it didn't matter how cheesy it was or how many plot holes there were. It just felt like their whole intention was to make you laugh the entire time. It never felt like that it had any bad intention. It was great. I loved it. I really enjoyed rewatching it. So I just went ahead and bought it for $5 on Amazon.
There you go. Hell yeah. Chancellor Brothers.
I'm gonna show my kids.
Yeah, you totally should, bro. Like, you totally should. Chancellor Brothers, final thoughts and ratings. What do you think?
I found this movie to be, like Chaz said, it's a lot of fun. I was literally laughing out loud. And while that's not that hard for me in the first place, this movie really brought that out, because that stoner comedy is just something that I relate to a lot, and it's real funny. And so I enjoyed the lack of consequence. That was great. It was a fantastic element to bring in. And of course, I've never actually seen this movie until now, but I've seen like every single clip pretty much of this movie, like scattered throughout YouTube and my friends' houses and stuff.
Everybody's always got this movie playing in the background.
Everyone's got it playing in the background. It's like I've seen parts of it here and there. And I've seen YouTube clips. I've seen the scene where they smoke the dog shit. Like, I saw that before this, so I remember that. And so this movie is hard to miss if you haven't seen it already.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think, ingrained in stoner culture. Are we doing ratings again?
I figured, fuck it, let's give ratings. Why not? Who cares?
I gave it doobies, dude. How seriously are we taking these ratings?
Ultimately, it's like, whose line is it anyway? The ratings are like the points. They don't matter. So
they don't matter.
These ratings are kind of like the doobie that we're talking about here. There's a little bit of dog shit in it.
But then again, I don't know. I think we're technically a weekly podcast now, so maybe if we want to qualify for being Rotten Tomatoes approved, maybe we should do ratings. I don't know.
Maybe.
But
as far as Up in Smoke goes, I definitely do think that it's, like I said, ingrained in stoner culture at this point. Not only in the film, but just in cannabis culture overall. I feel like we wouldn't have the same kind of culture we have today if we didn't have the stoner film genre. And there was something else I wanted to say, and I forgot because I'm high as fuck.
Well, there you fucking have it. That's probably
What were
the
you
best.
even talking about?
Damn, Chaz, you really baked then. Shit.
Nah, bruh. Nah. I'm normal, dude. I'm normal right now.
Yeah, I'm totally normal, man. Totally normal.
I'm gonna go to bed anyway. You know, I don't know about you guys, but
I'm gonna
gotta work in the
be
morning.
I'm gonna be up all goddamn night.
You've got to edit this shit, and I'm recording a Collateral Gaming episode tomorrow.
Nice.
So,
well,
we'll talk more about that in a second. But I guess I'll stick with what seems to be the all around rating, 4 out of 5.
Well,
I don't know unless you guys differ, Dakota Bo.
No, 4 out of 5. I agree.
Well, you know what? You know what?
Maybe.
I'm gonna go ahead and just give it 5 out of 5. Fuck it. I love this movie that much.
Almost there too.
I mean,
that gives it a 4.5 right there.
There we go. And I actually remember watching this movie way before I ever even started smoking weed in any capacity. And
yeah.
I mean, I knew all about it, but even coming from that sober outside perspective, I mean, I could see how weed could be kind of fun, how it wasn't all skeevy and everything, And it actually kind of led to me eventually trying it, probably, I mean, I'm not going to say Cheech Chong are the reason that I smoke weed, but, it definitely put me in the right direction. So, yeah, 5 out of 5 for me. Great movie. And it's actually one of the 1001 movies you need to see before you die, that book series. It's featured in that. So, yeah, that's my rating. 5 out of 5 all the way. All right, let's go ahead and do our plugs and wrap this thing up. We'll go ahead and start with Chaz. Plug your shit, man.
Yeah, so if you're listening to this in Collateral Cinema feed, go check out my show. It's an interview show. I interview people from all over the place, mostly musicians, but I've started to branch out and do podcast host and some writers. And on my most recent episode, I talked to Jack Luna, who's a Canadian true crime writer. He hosts Dark Topic. He just laid to rest Crime Machine, but it's all still in the Dark Topic feed. You can check out basically all of his work. And Christy G, a friend of ours, Bo, from here in Bandera.
Oh, yeah.
Who also has an interview show. So basically what my podcast has become is a platform for just art. So that's what it is. It's not really a review show. It's not really... there's no really purpose other than like, hey, if you want to just hear about something that's happening that's really cool, here, check this out. So I don't know what it is anymore. It's a variety show. I guess it became what it's supposed to be.
Right on.
Yeah.
Man. Right on.
Oh, yeah.
And it's called the Trial by Error Variety Show, and you can find it anywhere you listen to podcasts. And if you're listening to through my feed, Bo actually was on the first 10 episodes, maybe 11 or 12.
Something like that. I don't really remember.
So if you're a new listener to TBE, go back and you'll hear Bo. He's my roots dude.
Yeah.
He's my sound guy for the live shows. So we have history, and these little 420 episodes are kind of homages to all that history, I guess, in a weird way.
Yeah, 100%. Man. I agree.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Collateral Gaming.
I don't know why Chaz got the start. Collateral Gaming is more important, clearly.
Because he's the guest, podcast. Man. We gotta let the guest go first.
No, I'm just playing.
All right, Collateral Gaming.
Collateral Gaming. Yes, Collateral Gaming. We just are about to record our new Mario Kart episode. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be our 420 episode, which we're about to record tomorrow.
We're recording tomorrow.
As of this recording.
Which one? Which Mario Kart?
Mario Kart 8.
Yes.
Officially.
Nice.
But we'll probably talk about the series as a whole. Kind of like in Collateral Cinema, how the Leprechaun Returns episode was about Leprechaun as a whole. And so, because when it comes to Mario Kart, I mean, how much is there to say? But we'll get into that. We'll actually have a lot to say about it.
Yeah.
We've been playing a lot during this quarantine.
I've been whooping the shit out of Ash.
Yeah.
Now, we've just released our episode out on God of War. So if you haven't checked that out, check it out.
Yes, check that out. Really good episode. We had Megan and Alan on that episode who are now full-time co-hosts, if y'all weren't aware.
Yeah, they're here to say Megan and Alan are becoming a part of the Collateral Gaming team. if you're not already listening to Collateral Gaming, Collateral Cinema listener, Trial by Error variety show listener, go check us out. I mean, definitely our Collateral Cinema fans will be able to have, kind of half of the experience of Collateral Cinema, with an additional other half. And, we focused on video games. We run it analog to this show. You can find us wherever you listen to Collateral Cinema, and we're on all social medias. So
Right on. And you can find Collateral Cinema on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can find us on Spotify, Chill Lover Radio. You can find us on Apple Podcast and wherever else you happen to get your podcasts. And also look for a new Collateral Cinema Director's Cut coming up very soon. We'll have a new top 5 list ready for you and another movie review. So keep an eye out for that. And also look for us on Patreon and on Podbean Patreon. So check us out, and we're going to go ahead with that, wrap everything up. And we're going to go ahead and announce our next episode. We're going to do the grocery store slasher movie Intruders. Right, Robert?
Oh yeah, full moon.
We're doing our first full moon features on the main podcast. This is going to be a lot of fun, guys.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to after hearing the director's cut episode focusing on full moon features. I'm intrigued.
You're going to love it, dude. It's going to be a lot of fun. So
It's been a fun season.
it sure has, man. And we're glad to have you on the show, Chaz. We'll definitely have you back sometime soon.
Sure.
Yeah.
Always fun.
Well, with that,
Thanks for having me on, you guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
all right, right on, man. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wind this thing down. I'm Bo Maddox.
I'm Robert Oregon.
I'm Ashley Chancellor.
I'm Dakota Chancellor.
I'm Chazzle Dazzle.
And this was Collateral Cinema. Happy 420, everybody. Wash your hands, stay inside, and stay safe.
And smoke some weed.
Or CBD. Don't let them shame you for your CBD flower. Don't let them shame you.
Laters,
Wash your
everybody.
goddamn hands.
Laters, everybody.
And it don't bother me if people think I'm funny. 'Cause I'm a big rock star and I'm making lots of money. I'm so bloody rich. I own apartment buildings and shopping centers. I own an old record.
Collateral Cinema is an L Company production. All music and movie clips are owned by the respective creators and are used for educational purposes only. Please don't sue us. We're poor.